Hi everybody, this is Life with Leonard and welcome to another episode. Now on this channel, if you are new here, I strive to motivate and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. And if that type of content interests you, can I kindly ask you, if you haven't, to please subscribe to my channel, to like this video and to share it. I've recorded a few videos where I help you ladies to identify suitable men, high value men, the marriage type, a man that understands his role as a provider, a protector, who would appreciate you, who would respect you, take care of you, treat you like a queen. Now I always get very good reviews from you ladies when I talk about the things that men do wrong, where men lack, when I share with you the things as a lady you'd like to hear, and I appreciate that your positive interaction then. But today's video is for the guys. Now if you're a guy looking for a lifelong commitment with a woman, marriage, it's advisable that you ensure that you choose wisely. Now the first thing to do is to try to figure out if your woman has any of these 5 traits that I will be sharing with you today in this episode. And if she does, well, you should think long and hard before you decide to marry her. You all know that men control access to relationships, whether you ladies want to accept that or not. That's a fact. You see, ultimately, ladies, you don't propose to us. We propose to you. We decide who we want to marry. Of course, you always have a say, but that's not really the point here. Because if you're not getting approached, if you're not being approached or proposed to, well, who are you going to respond to? Well, no one is the answer. So just to be clear, as men, we control access to relationships. Women, on the other hand, you guys, you control access to sex. And I don't have to elaborate on that because you know that that's the truth. And that said, getting married to someone is one of the biggest decisions of your life, to put it lightly. That is why you should carefully consider your choices. Dating or relationships can be pretty tricky if not done wisely, because you can very easily, you can end up being with the wrong person if you are not careful about your decisions, as I mentioned. You see, unlike breakups, divorces are not easy. It involves not only emotional stress, but also financial stress, legal hassles. So it's always best to make sure that you are marrying the right person. And that is what I hope to help you with in today's episode. Not forgetting that the ultimate decision is yours. No one should be able to force you into any situation, for that matter, or relationship. And in case you are already hot under the collar, ladies, not to worry. In a future video, I'm going to share with you ladies, the kind of men that you should never marry. But today's episode, is all for the men out there. So the first type of woman you should look out for is the one who lies often. If your date or girlfriend consistently lies about things, then you should think long and hard before you plan to get married to her. There are actually a lot of reasons why someone might lie to their partner, and many of them aren't necessarily, I just want to make that clear, they aren't necessarily malicious. But that's not my point here. I'm of course referring to lying with the intent to deceive you, to hurt you. You see, lying, it destroys trust. It prevents a deeper and an empowering conversation and connection. Lying leads to more lying and deception. Dishonesty can be extremely painful. It's just selfish, and you don't want to be in a marriage where you are constantly and consistently being lied to. And secondly, let me talk about emotional instability. Now, emotional stability is often overlooked as a key characteristic of a good spouse. Yet its importance should be pretty obvious to us all, but it's not. Now, when someone is emotionally stable, they are reasonably predictable. In nearly every case, we know, to a great extent, of course, how they will respond. However, when someone is emotionally unstable, we never know what we're going to get. And they might laugh at a situation the one time and fly off the handle the next time. They might receive a comment as a compliment on the one day, but then be deeply hurt by the same words the next day. And you know what I'm talking about. And these unpredictable responses can paralyze. It can really paralyze a spouse. It's a precarious position. You will be forever stuck between a rock and a hard place. When looking for a spouse, find someone who is emotionally stable. And in case you wonder how, well, as a man, it should be clear to you through her actions. If you plan on marrying her, you need to realize that she will be largely responsible for the emotional well-being of the household. And ask yourself, is she nurturing? Is she feminine? Is she cooperative? Is she loving and caring and compassionate and considerate? It's about creating a loving environment for you and your children. You need to realize as the man that she's not just your wife, but also, the mother to your children. And that begs the question. And you need to be able to look for the signs. Was she raised to be a wife? Because how would she know how to be a wife if she was never raised to be one? I know about feminism, the movement, the strong independent woman. The question is, those women, are they happily married with children, living happily ever after? I'm asking because one thing is for sure. A high value man, and I've spoken and interacted with a lot of high value men, they don't want an independent woman. And just hear me out. And you can say or believe what you want. That's the facts. They don't want to come home having to compete with someone who has masculine energy. They want peace. Sometimes people's egos and their self-righteous attitudes and approach to life in general stand in the way of happiness and success. And I'm not referring to financial success here. I'm referring to her aura, her peace, her love, the joy that her presence creates. Now, gentlemen, once you find a woman that exudes that, you marry her. I almost want to say right there, right then, but you get my point. The next woman you should never marry is an unfaithful woman. Now, adultery is devastating. No matter the relationship, when women are unfaithful, it is even less likely a relationship will endure. Maybe it's because men are less forgiving. More likely it is because when women have an affair, the relationship is already in deeper trouble. While males may have higher levels of spontaneous desire, women take the lead for responsive, or how can I put it, triggered desire. I'm not justifying why when a man cheats it's different, not at all, but it is easier for a man to just move on, while women in general, and I must just add, tend to have an emotional component or connection to it. No matter the situation, any hint of unfaithfulness while dating should cause you to run. Gentlemen, don't get involved. Just run. The next type of woman you should never marry is the one who is always bitter, the one filled with resentment and negativity. You know, the kind of woman who she gets angry at silly things. The ones who can't take jokes and snap every now and then. They are angry, they hold grudges, and they've lost any zeal or passion. They are often in a bad mood, getting irritated and finding it difficult to enjoy life in general. It is as if they are in a chronic state of resentment and anger. I'm not downplaying the fact that some people have legitimate psychological issues. I know that. But that said, as a man, you should stay away from women like this. Maybe There is a reason why she is behaving that way, like a bad past or something else. My point is, it's difficult for the obvious reasons to cope up with a woman who is bitter, the one who is disrespectful. We often focus on men when it comes to respect, and rightfully so. But ladies, you need to check yourself too. Guys, if you take out the girl, if you take her out on a date, just observe. Just observe how she behaves and treat others, of course. For example, the waiter at the restaurant and other people in general. If she disrespects them, well, she is showing you who she is, and chances are that she will disrespect you as well. You want to marry a woman who respects you, who you and your family and your friends. A woman needs to be able to take care of a man, being kind and feminine, as I mentioned earlier. There is nothing as off-putting as a woman with masculine traits. And let me tell you, gentlemen, she is a walking pole with red flags all over it. You see, ladies, a man of value, no matter what the feminists say, no matter what the world tries to teach you and make you want to believe. Because that type of man wants a wife, a traditional woman that knows what to do for a man, not a woman that's disrespectful with masculine energy, telling him what to do. No, that's not it. As a woman, a wife, what men require is kindness, love, nurturing, compassion, peace. You are his peace, his place of refuge, his safe haven. Of course, I mean, your man needs to reciprocate. But I'm talking to you now, ladies. That's what he wants. Someone he can come home to. Someone who creates, as I mentioned, a peaceful and loving environment for him and his children. And the last type of woman you should never marry, gentlemen, is a spoiled one. Now, while fathers love to spoil their daughters, and I must admit, I am guilty too, it's important to ensure that little girls don't grow up to be spoiled women. There's nothing wrong with liking good things and wanting a man to provide for his family. Nothing wrong with that. However, when a woman feels entitled to the things without making an equal contribution or any contribution whatsoever. Don't get me wrong here. I don't mean if something costs 10,000 Rand, the man expect you to contribute half of that, which is 5,000 Rand. If that is where your mind is, then perhaps you need to rewind this video and follow the train of thought here, because that's not the point. That's not the point at all. And surely, you see, a spouse who feels entitled is not cut out for a successful marriage. Now, entitlement is basically a learned behavior. And I'll admit that it is not a female-specific behavior. But if a girl is with you only because you shower her with gifts, then maybe it is time you think where you want to take this relationship to. Where do you really want to take it to? If your girl constantly talks about getting her gifts, shopping for her, taking her out, fancy dinners, and she's never available when you need her emotionally, then this is a type of woman you should not marry. That's the type of woman whose character has been compromised because whatever it is, wealth or material things, and you should think long and hard if this is what you really want. I mean, you're talking about the rest of your life here, because marriage is until death us do part. It's a lifelong commitment. You don't get married to get divorced. You stick it out right to the end. These types of women, gentlemen, tend to be very domineering and is off-putting. This will lead to a lot of arguments and disagreement and unhappiness in your life. Ladies, you need to understand from a man's perspective. It will feel as if he is in a relationship with another man. Often these are traits that's so entrenched in you, and it's become your norm because it's the only behavior you know. These are learned behaviors, and I can almost guarantee you, if you meet her mother, guys, it will make sense to you. The mother The mothers often have the bad attitude. They are alpha females in their relationships, and they are in relationships with beta males. These are the types of women who are absolutely allergic to any sort of growth, of femininity or improvement whatsoever. So there you have it, everybody. The 5 types of women that you should never marry. And just as a disclaimer, I am by no means encouraging you to go break up with your significant other. Not at all. I am merely giving you some advice. You're a big boy and you're a big girl too. So do it on your terms and at your risk. You can go read my disclaimer in the description below. And thank you so much, everybody, for once again joining me on today's episode. I sincerely hope that this episode was of value to you, and please, you are welcome to interact with all of us in the comment section below. I'm really looking forward to it. And just before you go, if you haven't, please remember to subscribe to my channel, to like this video, and to share it. And subscribing, it is really easy. Firstly, you can just click that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and please remember to hit the all notifications, and that way you would be notified and you won't miss out whenever I upload new videos. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you in the next episode. Stay blessed.